I have heard people say that if you're going to get married, it's not for you, it's for them. Like, you don't get married for you, you get married to make the other person happy. That's what I've heard. And then everyone knows the whole thing about, like, I saw this dude today with a sweatshirt that said, like, be good to yourself. So you have these conflicting things: be good to yourself, put others before yourself. What is the move? There was this girl in New York that I was in love with, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I was just like tricking myself. Can you love someone if they don't love you? It's a question for another podcast. Anyway, she was struggling with me, and I remember her telling me, like, I like you, but, like, she had a hard time with the physicality piece of it. Like, I wanted to, you know, have a physical relationship with her, and she wasn't ready for that or wanting that. I mean, we did a couple times, and it was awful. It was so bad. It's like the worst. Like, she laid there like a dead fish, and I was like equally a horrible fish, some sort of gross guppy. Making out was fun, I guess, you know. Everything gets in the way of everything. Like, you can have this nice thing with someone, and then someone wants to add intimacy to it, and maybe that's not always whatever. I'm bouncing all around. I had a weird. I met someone who's probably gonna watch this, but luckily it's like 2 months from now, so maybe it'll be a whole other thing. So it doesn't matter. So I can actually say whatever I want. I don't want to ever have to inhibit what I say on here. She knows who she is. I know who she is. No one else knows who she is, so it doesn't matter. I can say whatever I want. But I really get along with this girl, and like we connect like no one ever I've ever connected with. Yet I'm hesitant to take it to the next step. I'm hesitant, and I don't know why. When I met her for the first time, I remember thinking she was super cute, thinking she was sexy. But now that I've gotten to know her, I she is to me this like delicate, precious flower, sorta. And so I've been like wrestling with like how to manage my feelings and manage hers. And then tonight I talked to her on the phone, and I don't know what was going on, but she was like kind of distant, kind of not giving me much to work with, not being very fun. And it got something going in my brain where I was just like, I'm so worried about how this person feels, to maybe my own detriment. And I was like on the phone, and I was like, I don't want to be talking to her if she's going to be like a wet blanket. And I didn't get off the phone right then, but a little bit later, I got off the phone. So I was like, what am I, like, you're not my girlfriend yet. Like, I'm not going to walk on eggshells around you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, I don't know how long. I have a tendency to get real wrapped up in how I think someone's feeling. I think a lot of people do that. You get wrapped up in how you think someone's feeling, and you don't know how someone's feeling. But sometimes you're so concentrated on worrying about how they feel that like you put them, like you're worried more about them than like you, and like that's like a, I think that's like an old ancient thing inside of you from like growing up, like neglect and abuse and all those kinds of like horrible things. Like it just, it was, I'm I'm glad in a way that I saw this side of her tonight, which it wasn't, she wasn't being rude, she wasn't being mean, she wasn't being nasty. She's just being kind of like not giving me much. She didn't sound sad. She sounded like a little, like if anything, like annoyed, maybe, or just like sort of just like a little bit like just in like a bothered type of mood. And it's the first time I've seen that from her. And I'm kind of glad I saw it because I caught myself worrying more about, like, I wanted her to be feeling better than worrying about, like, how it was affecting me. And I don't think that's a healthy position to be in. I mean, the thing is, I don't know how I feel. Usually I know, usually when I make these videos, I feel like I'm figuring things out. I don't feel like I'm figuring anything out today. I feel like I'm lost. I don't know if the right thing to do is just to like text her and say like, "Are you all right?" Like you kind of sounded a little down in the dumps, and like maybe she'll be like, "Yeah, I am," and but I got the feeling she did not want to be consoled. That was sort of like the weird feeling that I got. Like she was enjoying being a little miserable in a weird way, in a sick and twisted kind of way. And when you're in that weird sick and twisted, which we all get in that way sometimes. Sometimes we like to feel miserable, and we do everything in our power not to let anyone else make us not miserable. I just didn't think that that was her. I didn't think that she was someone who would get in that miserable mood that so many people that I know get into, and what I've been trying to get away from, the miserable side of people. Fuck. I am so conflicted with feeling like, do I be selfless? Do I be selfish? Selfless? Selfish. At what point does selflessness turn into self harm? And at what point does selfishness turn into self harm? But a different type of harm. Like, I feel like some dudes would like bend over backwards to make sure that the girls in their life are feeling okay. And maybe I maybe it was up to me to like, to, though, like, don't make me start like prying. If you want to have open communication with someone, tell them how you're feeling. Like, if you're kind of down in the dumps, be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm kind of down in the dumps right now, and like maybe I just need some space or something. But just being on the phone, like not giving me much, then I'm left like having to like figure it out. It's not my forte. Just keep thinking about Alanis Morissette. Thank you, India. I don't know, man. Girls, dudes, everybody, let people know. I'm not a mind reader, and this, it's like I'm all caught up in like, you see, this is why I was trying to avoid the romantic side of things with this girl. Because if my friend Joe or Andrew or whoever was like in a bad mood, I could be like, hell's your problem? You know? But you get so caught up, I get so caught up in how my friends are feeling to the point where I'm trying to make them feel better. Instead, do I even feel okay? And maybe that's selfish, but like I feel like my whole life I put everybody's feelings in front of mine, making sure everybody else feels okay. And like, how about if I feel okay? Is that okay? Can I feel okay? Like, this is why I avoid this stupid stuff. I don't want to talk anymore. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you guys later.